So, you survived the garden, and now you face me alone. What happened to your loyal companions? The turquoise giant, the sad hunter, the orphan heretic, the irreverent speck of dust. Don't tell me they abandoned you. Exactly as it should be. Is it true, Envoy? Has the Burned Queen touched your soul at last? Have you come to join her army? Excellent. Pledge yourself to the Steel Garrote, and you'll have the strongest fighting force in all of Aora at your beck and call. But I wonder, how serious is your commitment? I'll be the judge of that. Before I accept you into the Steel Garrote, I require a gesture of fealty. A sacrifice. Renounce Sapadal. Disavow yourself of your corrupted essence. Only then, when your soul is ready, may you kneel before me. I thought this might happen. Such a waste of potential. Farewell, Envoy. Once I'm done killing you, your god of flame!
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
They're all! Go up 10! They're all! Seal nas mitu! They're all! Go up 10! They're all! Seal nas mitu! Seal nas mitu! Worth and grow! They're all! Go up 10! Seal nas mitu! They're worth and grow! that's me too! Sam, that's me too! Sam, that's me too!
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Adiran forces assemble around you, ready to accept new orders. Whatever happens next, their loyalty is yours. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The dream scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth. How the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. The Living Lands is now a colony of the Adiran Empire, and you are its king. The Ascendant Steel Garrote demand that you rule them with a strangling fist, and you oblige them. Under your leadership, all worship of the gods is outlawed, save for worship of Wodaka. You replace the settlement's leaders with loyal captains from the Steel Garrote, and your followers work tirelessly to tame the frontier. Though you promise them an age of order and discipline is just over the horizon, peace forever feels just out of reach. You find yourself looking over your shoulder. You wait for a knife in the back. The rebels of Paradise are not so fortunate. Over the years, more of their hidden sanctuaries are rooted out by the Emperor's soldiers, until they have nowhere left to run. They flee, or perish. The rebels of Paradise are not so fortunate. Over the years, more of their hidden sanctuaries are rooted out by the Steel Garrote, until they have nowhere left to run. They flee, or perish. The refugees of Emerald Stair find a cold welcome in the city of Paradise. Animancy is frowned upon, but their knowledge of agriculture is highly valued. The first bountiful harvest improves relations. The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder. Scavengers avoid the ruins, fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale. The older Thirdborners who remember Rawatai know that life under an empire is cyclical. In time, Adir's might will fade. But the younger kith of the settlement remember what Thirdborn used to be, while having lost so many to an archmage's spell, and straining under the yoke of an empire. Despite the line of Adiran's ships bearing fine goods, their rage is a powder keg that sits and waits. For a brief but hopeful moment, Solace Keep opens the fortress doors to the new rulers of the living lands, allowing Adirans to come and go as they please. But the peace does not hold. Lacking patience for the Empire's unyielding demands, Mihala shuts the doors once again, issuing a warning. Those who trespass in Solace Keep will not leave alive. The Adirans waste no time gathering their forces, for an example must be made. When Kai leaves the living lands, he is no longer running. For the first time in many years, he can face the future. He returns to Rawatai, committed to peace for his people, those he left in Rawatai, as well as those he found in the living lands. He joins the Ranganui's council, counterbalancing powerful voices of isolationism and hawkishness. It is a long and difficult battle, and he is happy to fight it. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradise and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, he joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up. Giada learned much in your time together. How to stand up to authority, how to face the unknown, and how to move on from the past. But her family's unfinished work weighs heavily on her soul. Her inheritance is the burden of achieving the impossible. Such is the life of an animancer. At least now she has the right tools for the job, and new friends to help her through hard times. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yatsley returns to the Animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilichi, she helps him and the Animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior Messiverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yatsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never goes away. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sapadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sapadal has questions about what happens tomorrow, and the day after. You do your best to keep them calm, until the voice in your head is little more than a polite whisper. After everything you've been through, you don't mind the company. An eerie quiet pulls you out of reverie. Your enemies are vanquished, and you alone stand triumphant. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.